Namaste Vidya. Today we will be studying about UMN and element type of lesions. In previous session we had already discussed about the tracts, cerebellum. So now we'll be discussing about UMN and element type of lesions over here. This session is important for BPT second semester, DPT second semester and DPT fourth semester. So let's start with the session UMN and LMN lesions. The central nervous system influences the activity of skeletal muscles through two sets of neurons. First is your upper motor neuron and the second is your lower motor neuron. The upper motor neurons are responsible for conveying impulses for voluntary movement or voluntary motor activity through descending motor pathways that make up the upper motor neurons. Humans send fibers to the element and that exert direct or indirect supranuclear control over the element of the cranial nerves. Then if we just see the axons from the cortical areas from the corticospinal, they form the corticospinal and corticobulbar tracts. 1/3 from primary motor cortex, that is Beth's axons 3 to 5%, and other 95% are from small neurons. And 1/3 from the somatic sensory cortex, area 1 to 3, and the adjacent temporal lobe region. Now what exactly the function of UMN is? They control lower motor neuron through different pathways. First is your pyramidal tract and second is your extrapyramidal tract. The extrapyramidal tracts we constitute reticulospinal tract, vestibulospinal, tectospinal, rubrospinal, corticobulbar and corticorubral tracts, whereas the pyramidal tracts constitute a corticospinal tract. These we have discussed earlier. So we can also, they are the descending or ascending pathways or descending tracts. We have rubrospinal, reticulospinal, vestibulospinal, tectospinal. So the descending motor tracts carries the impulses from brain to lower centers. Now, if there is any kind of lesion in pyramidal tract that will cause loss of dexterity, voluntary skillful movements, the Babinski sign is positive, that is, there is fanning of the toes. Generally, whenever we get a response, we just over my palmar aspect or plantar aspect of my sole, I will flex my toes. But in this case, it is a pathological sign. There will be fanning of toes, like there will be complete extension and abduction. Then there is loss of superficial reflex. Spasticity is the main feature of UMN lesion, and spasticity is a state of sustained increase in muscle tension in response to muscle lengthening. Hyperreflexia is there. That means the deep end reflexes are exaggerated whenever we try to elicit them. Pseudobulbar palsy is hallmark of UMN disorder. Now this what exactly the pseudobulbar palsy is. It results from upper motor neural lesion to corticobulbar pathways in the pyramidal tract. It results in bilateral lesion of UMN of the muscle of the tongue, face, speech and swallowing. So like they mainly affect the muscles of the face. That means cranial nerves are affected. So now we'll come to LMN. Now these LMN are classified as alpha motor neurons, extrafusal muscle fibers, and the fiber that is involved during muscle contractions. We have gamma motor neurons, intrafusal muscle fibers that are present in muscle spindles. They sense the position. Now if we come to the LMN lesion, the symptoms or the signs, it leads to flaccid paralysis. That means there is abnormal decrease in the muscle tone. Muscle atrophy is there, hyporeflexia is there. That is whenever we try to elicit the DTR, we won't get it. Muscle hypotonicity is there, fasciculations are present. Bulbar palsy is present. That means element signs in regions innervated by facial, glossopharyngeal, vagus and hypoglossal nerve. So these are the features of UMN and element type of lesions. I hope you understood this session, and this session is powered by Digital 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women University. You can comment in the inbox for any kind of doubts or queries. Thank you.